And once I realized that the shuriken catapult versus the the range of the shuriken catapult being 12 inches, and a lot of the dark Eldar weaponry would be longer range, and I realized that the crossbows and bows could be used to represent that. It was very easy to settle on what units to use for Guardians. I happened to get a really terrific deal on eBay with some of the older Warhammer regiments for the dark. I believe they're called Dark Shards. I remember that. Anyway, it's the crossbowmen. Actually, it's a kit you can make crossbowmen or spearmen or swordsmen. Well, anyway, I got like 90 of them, so I was set for Guardians for quite a while. And I dove right into it. I decided that when you look at the stats of a Guardian, they've got 5 of armor. So if the Exodites are also going to have access to the same psychoreactive armor technologies. They're just going to use it a little more sparingly, maybe interweave it in with some more traditional styles. So I've got, going back to Lord of the Rings with their mithril and all that, those type of technologies that the elves, craftsmen, armorers can come up with. Figured that works really well with the Exodite. So having a chain skirt on this with kind of a psychoreactive breastplate and what have you, and helms, it screamed 5+ armor without any difficulty at all. And of course, when you look at the stats of the Guardian, as far as equipment, not stats, but the equipment, they just have the shuriken catapult and the grenades and the mesh armor. So here we are, crossbows and armor. So now, as far as the units themselves, if you look, I've got, obviously there's a rainbow in front of you, and I was able to start playing around with Guardians versus Defenders versus Guardian, which I guess they call them Storm Guardians, yeah. And so I was able to kind of come up with a pattern for both. And so I went ahead and made about 660 regular Guardian Defenders or Exodite Dragon Warders. 20 of them are all part of one unit or one clan. So if you look at it, starting back over here in the far left corner, we're looking there at the what do they call it there? The Star Swords clan, and then the green, those are the Moon Shields clan. The large squad of 20 there, that's the Windwalkers clan, Dragon Warders. The ones in front with the blue and the red, excuse me, those are the Star Rider clan. And the orange and charcoal there are the Sunfire clan. So they're all identically equipped. Some have 4 of the squads have banners. Actually, forgot to create a banner for the Windwalkers. I was so excited to get a squad of 20 Guardians put on the table that I just built up 20 and went with it and forgot. Oh yeah, I was supposed to put a banner holder in there, because I do try to have banners all over throughout the Exodite army. Now over to the far right here, I've got the actual Storm Guardians, and they actually represent the Nightwalkers clan. They're actually the smallest clan on my planet, so I'm not going to have many units in that color scheme. So I did want to have something. So Guardians are simple to model. If you think about it, they're not that much different from the regular Guardian, except that they're engaged for melee. So they've got a close combat weapon and a shuriken pistol. So here I've used a hand bow to represent the shuriken pistol, and I use that throughout the units within the codex. And I was able to put together 12 of those, and I didn't want to do any more because I want to save some bodies aside, because I want to throw in a couple power swords and a couple flamers, just to have the models for that. Again, I'm not looking at just building competitive lists, but also fluffy lists. So I'm trying to get some variety in the weapons. So a very simple approach. This is actually really easy to stumble upon as far as, how do I represent the Dragon Warders in the Exodite Codex. which are the bulk of the Exodite army. Well, Guardians, perfect alignment there. Didn't take any difficulty whatsoever. So, this is all I've made for this particular Guardian. I have not actually built yet the weapons. Now, if you take a look, all of the regular Guardian Defenders, I'll take a look at the, see if that goes in there. All of them, for every 10 you can actually have what's a weapons platform. Well, that's cool. I would love to be able to do that. I thought about maybe using the weapons platform, but that's not very Exodite-ish, if you will. So I decided that I did some searching, and there's some old cold ones from the earlier Warhammers, and there's a couple other. There's the new cold ones. There's not a whole lot of dinosaur-like things that Games Workshop puts together. So I decided to use those for other units, and now I need to find a dinosaur that would carry the heavy weapon. It's actually, I found a couple. I haven't ordered them yet, but I believe the site is called, let me see, Military. Oh, I want to look it up here real quick. Down here. Sorry for this. Taking a little longer than I expected, but here we go. There it is. Magister Militum. They make 10 and 15 millimeter dinosaurs. Actually, for a game, a dinosaur game, that's, I guess, is popular in the UK, or at least that's where it seems to be popular. But anyway, they've got a wide variety of dinosaurs of all shapes and sizes from the different eras. And I was able to find quite a few that would match a 40 millimeter base, or about 40 millimeters, because that's what the weapon platform sits on. So I'm about to order a few of those, different types. I've had to take some time to, based on where each of the clans is settled on the planet, what terrain they live in. I wanted to pair the proper dinosaur up with them. I'm really nerding out on that, but I'm really enjoying that aspect of this particular army. So you'll see in the future, hopefully over the summer, I'll actually be building out those weapon platforms. And they're essentially just gun dragons. That's what they'll be. And so I'll magnetize them so I can put any weapons on them. But they'll be a bannered up dinosaur that's able to carry a heavy weapon, and I think it'll look really cool. So stay tuned for that in the future. So in a sec, we'll go ahead and take a look at the Windrunners of my Exodites, and those are the equivalent of the jet bikes. So hold on a second while I get those set up. All right, as I said in the summary or House Clans introduction video, there are jet bikes in this particular Exodite world. They're not always. They're not going to revert to their complete rustic lifestyle, especially when it comes to war. So they're going to use every piece of Eldar technology they get their hands on, and jet bikes are among them. So these are called Windrunners. They're just standard jet bikes. The Guardians, fly them. I was thinking originally of doing pterosaurs, but the problem is a jet bike has 4+ save for armor save, and I couldn't see a pterosaur being 4+. I could see maybe being a 5+, but and then once I did settle on another unit that could represent pterosaurs, they did end up with a 5+ save, so it made even less sense to try to force pterosaurs into here. But I'm still on the lookout for some options, because I really do want some dinosaurish jet bikes. It'd be really kind of cool. So, but anyway, there are only 3 clans in my entire world that actually use jet bikes. At least that's the way I've kind of written it up. And so, well, actually there's 4. We've got the Windwalkers clan, and that's the blue and white right there. Okay. We also have the oops, wait a second. There it is. Sorry, looking at my notes. It's hard to keep track of all these sometimes. Anyway, the other one that has it are the Sun Swords clan, and that's these. Now the Sun Swords use a mix of weapons. They'll use heavy weapons as well, shuriken catapults. But my personal favorite, conceptually anyway, is the Sky Dancer clan, which is back here. They only use heavy weapons on their jet bikes, and all three of those jet bikes are shuriken catapult equipped. Now I know a lot of people go for scatter bikes, and I did the math on it, and it turns out the against like Space Marines or what have you, the scatter bike is just literally a 0.0 something points better than shuriken catapult. However, against Terminators, the shuriken catapult is better. You may have one less shot, but you're going to force the 5-up invuln save. So I generally stick with the I want to try to build at least one larger unit of just shuriken catapults. I'm sorry, shuriken cannon jet bikes, and then I'll use scatter bikes everywhere else. But I don't want to just, again, I'm not trying to be a competitive gamer on everything, so I'm going to have a large number of jet bikes that just have the shuriken catapults. Sometimes I don't want to have all that money or points invested in a jet bike unit. It's a 51 point unit for 3. It's 81 points to put heavy weapons on all 3 of them. So it's nice sometimes just to have the shuriken catapults and be able to just have a unit that would zip around the board stealing objectives, or especially these are Guardians, they can contest objectives, or with the objective secured, steal them away from the opponent. So don't need to spend 30 extra points just for that ability. So that's how I'm kind of approaching these Windrunners. They will be, I haven't, just to back up a little bit here, I have 3 bikes I haven't actually built the riders for yet. I haven't decided what clan I'm going to actually build them onto. But those are probably going to join the Windwalkers clan. The reason is the Windwalkers are, since they're the current clan that's in power, as they have the dragon. That's where the Dragon King came out of. They bear a greater responsibility for the defense of Lorien as a house, and so especially as a clan. So that particular clan will have a larger presence on the battlefield. So there's going to be a lot of blue uniforms. That's another reason you saw the Guardian, the Dragon Warders, with a 20-man squad of the Windwalkers paint scheme there. So anyway, that's that's basically the Guardian equivalents. Windrunner jet bikes are for the Guardian jet bikes, and then I've got both Dragon Warders equipped for close combat and regular Dragon Warders to do the Storm Guardians and Guardian Defenders. All right, so that's kind of how I interpreted the Exodite Dragon Warders and Windrunners, and hopefully you kind of saw the logic behind all that, and it makes sense. And let me know what you think. Go ahead, share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next review. Bye.